What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again I am joined by
Gershwan!
And today we're back to answer your questions in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below, put question in front of your question, because we get those questions first. And that is what Chicken Waffles did.
It sounds good.
It does. He has a thumbnail of a cookie, a chocolate chip cookie. How does that make sense? He asks, what are your favorite 40K theories, and which 40K theories makes the most sense to you in the advancing story? And then you scroll all the way down, and you say, you just got Bridget Bede.
Does that mean we have to change our pants? Because when I get Bridget Bede,
I make sure no one's in the house.
damn, not
I
just in
make
the
a
other
lot of
room.
noise, yeah. No, I make sure that the neighbors hear me. It's like, oh yeah, it's 4 o'clock. It's his Bridget B time. He's about to get Bridget B. Oh, there you go. So to answer your question, my favorite 40K theory is the theory that the Alpha Legion is actually a loyalist legion.
That's fact.
No,
No,
it's a
not.
theory.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah. Should I elaborate more? How do you do this? The whole thing about the Cabal and the whole thing about the Emperor speaking to Alpharius and the Alpha Legion about like Horus has to win, but at the same time can't win. It just adds a bunch of like cool like fluffiness that makes you wonder like, wait, so is Alpharius still alive, and is he actually fighting for the good people or the bad people? Is he Cypher?
Right. But I don't know. That's a good theory, but I feel like it's never gonna get answered.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the fun of Cypher, of the Alpha Legion lies, in that you don't know who's good, who's bad, who's gonna, like what's real.
Yeah, that's true. It's their gimmick.
And I'm gonna bring this up again because it just hit me like a few weeks ago where they're the 20th Legion, Roman numeral XX, as in you're getting double crossed.
Son.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just that, but like just the whole look of the Alpha Legion is pretty cool with like the camellia line cloaks. I believe that's how you pronounce that Xeno species.
Yeah.
Yeah, camellia lines.
They look like lizards.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, with my theory that I really like, and it might get debunked soon, is that of the Void Dragon. The whole thing of it being underneath Mars, that's the Omnissiah. The Emperor like beat it up and used it as a bargaining chip or as a means of like, hey, if you don't join the Imperium, Admech, I'm going to unleash this on you. And they're like, no, we'll imprison it. We'll help you build Titans and weapons and war gear and stuff like that. But with the news that the Necrons have a shard of the Catan, maybe that's not a thing anymore. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
And I think my second one would be the Terminus Decree, as to what exactly that is, what it does. But I don't know, we might not ever get that. Because if they use the Terminus Decree, that means that the Imperium is literally on the brink of death. So.
Yeah. And then you say which theory it makes the most sense based on the story. I'm assuming this is still a theory, but the Emperor is turning into a god in the war.
Mm-hmm.
His whole thing was like, oh, don't praise me, and now he's turning into a god. That makes the most sense.
Right.
Like it's backed up by a lot of lore.
Mm-hmm. The whole split between like the radicals and the Puritans and the Inquisition, the Legion of the Damned, saints, sisters of battle and their prayers and the Emperor blessing them and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's something that not an ordinary human can do. Like that's like some godly stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you. That's probably the most logical thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, speaking of logic, he's retiring.
Logic.
Yeah. Like he's putting out like one more album and he says that's it. Retiring? Who can relate?
Yeah. Next question comes from Bruh Moment. Do dogs or domesticated animals exist in 40K?
Yeah.
The Blackstone Fortress box set? I think it was. No, which one was the one? I think it was a Rogue Trader box set or something like that. Had a dog in it, and this is recent. It's like a Navy captain and his dog. I think. Yeah.
Yvrain has a cat.
Yep. Well, I think it's a species of feline, right? It's not.
Yeah. Sphinx something.
And they're psychic, aren't they? Yeah.
But I mean, what isn't psychic when you talk about the Eldar?
That's true. Next question.
This one is by Janica Helland. Once we thought that the return of a loyal Primarch was hard to believe, but it happened. Now even the Silent King has returned, which was even more hard to believe. So, do you think that the hive mind of the Tyranids will make a big entrance in the future?
That's a good question.
Yeah. We've been wrong multiple times, so we're going to say no so that it can happen.
Yes.
Because we were like saying, the Silent King's never going to come back. He's like the emperor for the Necrons, and boom, he's here.
Yep.
And not just is he here, he's here with the freaking Void Dragon. So it's like, what more can the Necrons bring that's going to be like, groundbreaking?
One of those Death Stars again.
Yeah, the Celestial Orrery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think eventually to bring in a new wave of Tyranid players and to give them something new and exciting, yeah, Norn Queens or the Hive Mind will make an appearance. And it's got to be some massive being that just rips through the real space and stuff like that. Because I don't want it just to be a big Tyranid. It's got to be planetary sized.
Yeah, but also animalistic.
Right.
Like a void whale.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'll show you a void whale. Whale. Next question comes from Chris Westmoreland. Why do you let your floor get that way? It stresses out my girl, and I'm tired of hearing about it. Why is it stressing out your girl? And why is she watching us? This is a man's game.
No women allowed.
Yeah.
Quote the Emperor.
Yeah. What's your question?
Why'd you let your floor get this dirty?
It's not that dirty. I'm organizing stuff. I'm trying to create more different types of content. I'm trying to learn how to speak too. It'll get better.
Yeah, I know the last time you said that there's bits stuck within the fibers of the carpet, and if you vacuum and stuff, that's $300 down the drain.
Yeah, for real. Not that I'm ever gonna use those bits that are in the carpet, but it's the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
The things we do for this hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question.
It's a good thing it's not Legos. We're not in the Lego hobby.
Yeah, we would have been dead. Even though there are thumbtacks somewhere around here. I was building a piece of terrain, and I was using a bunch of thumbtacks, and the container fell over, and I don't think I collected all of them.
Just I'll get to it.
Yeah, I'll feel it. I should just roll around. Next question comes from Digital Sigma. If you were... we've already asked it. We've already talked about this. Next question.
This one's by Grant Patterson. Is it possible that Chaos managed to infect the minds of Terra as the Emperor was injured and the Golden Throne idea was actually a prison that forces him into a stasis rather than protection?
Who originally did that?
Chaos. Just Chaos in general.
Oh, that would have been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and it kind of would make sense too, because while the Emperor was building his webway gate and Magnus the Red broke through it, demons started flooding in, and the Adeptus Custodes and the Sisters of Silence fought them off. But it would make sense for a demon, a Zinchian demon, to go in there and fiddle around with the Golden Throne, because they knew that he was going to be in there. Mm-hmm. That's actually a really good theory.
Yeah,
I like that. You should go with it.
Mm-hmm. Now the thing about it being a stasis prison doesn't really make sense because the Emperor is aging, but maybe that's the Emperor using all his psychic might that's taking away life essence, and that's why he's decomposing.
Yeah. Decomposing.
And
like the monks.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
The Buddhist monks.
Yeah, how they like can channel their chi to like not age, or
Mm-hmm.
even if they're dead, there's like still
Alive.
alive. That's crazy. He's got a part 2 to his question. If the Emperor is a perpetual, is it possible that the Emperor is actually being prevented from rejuvenating, and that the Emperor's voice is actually Slanesh, conning the human race?
I don't know why it would be Slanesh. I think it would be more like Zinch. That seems like a plot and a scheme. But that one's a little harder too.
He continues to say, Slanesh pushing an insidious religion against the Imperial Creed. Thousands of Psykers dying every day are actually powering Slanesh, which is continuing the link to the throne rather than the Emperor, who as a perpetual shouldn't need it. It would be interesting if humanity had actually been the Emperor's unwitting jailers. Yeah.
I still don't understand why it would be Slanesh.
Right,
Though.
Zeech makes a little bit more sense. But maybe since Slanesh is like the youngest of the gods, Slanesh is using the god as like a conduit to achieve greater power.
Oh yeah, like she's more thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by A.L. Carr. Would you pick Zeech as a master if you live in 40K?
Yeah.
Why not, right?
I would definitely go to Chaos, that's for sure. I don't want to do this whole, like, have a shitty life as an Imperial citizen thing, or join the Imperial Guard and die in seconds, or even go into, like, a ship and fly.
Yeah, you gotta explore the grander world.
Yes. Which is Chaos.
This one's by PandaSay25. Which Primarch would each of you actually want to meet and why? Pre-heresy.
I don't ever want to meet my heroes, so none of them. No, but post-heresy, you said?
Pre-heresy.
Oh, pre-heresy? Shit, that's a hard question. Let me think.
Yeah. Originally, I was going to say Horus, just to see how charismatic and how much of a good guy he was before the fall. But I'm like, no, I can't pass up, meeting Sanguinius. Or Fulgrim, because Fulgrim's supposed to be...
A dime piece?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go with Horus, though.
I think I'd go with Magnus the Red. Just because it seems like he's all about knowledge and he can teach me things.
Yeah, he'll like grab your skull and unlock your potential.
Yeah, just go squeak. Because doesn't everybody's head make a squeaking noise when you squeeze it?
More or less.
This question comes from All Might. Is Keenan and Kel a thing in 40K? Asking for a friend. Keenan and Kel is a thing in 40K.
Yeah. More so Keenan, I believe, than Kel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday Night Live and whatnot.
Made him more popular, so he just elevated, and it is what it is.
But I mean, Kel, boy, does he love orange soda.
Who doesn't love orange soda?
Mm-hmm. And he, I think he's like, almost like a tech priest, because he was like, repair man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Damn. That memory was unlocked. Was it a memory? Or was it a dream?
Yeah, maybe he's just saying, oh, yeah, I remember, but he doesn't.
Maybe it's one of those Mandela effect things.
Mm-hmm.
We should create one of those for 40K.
Repair man.
This question comes from George Von Sanctum Ovium. Is Donald Trump actually a champion of Nurgle? No. Nothing says, like, Nurgle to me about Trump.
Yeah.
Because you think of, like, entropy, disease, decay. He's not spreading disease.
Is he wearing a mask? Oh,
He did.
once, twice.
Yep. Next question.
This one is The Seeker. Does Gork and Moore have demon-like other than Chaos Gods?
So are there demon orcs for Gork and Mork? No, there's not. The orcs don't really worship Gork and Mork like humans worship any other god. It's more of like, he's a thing, or they're a thing, but I'm trying to hit you. That's more important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool if, like, they actually empowered things like a Chaos God.
Yeah, the closest thing is Weird Boys, and like the Weird Boys just vomit things.
Yeah.
Not oranges.
Can't they summon like big feats and like
Oh yeah, fists.
fists and feats?
That's in Total War, I
Mm.
think. So, but yes,
Not half war, but total war.
Total War.
Mm.
Completo. This question comes from Yeso. How do your wives feel about your 40K habits?
How do you feel, Gershwan?
About my 40K habits? Good. Um, my wife is supportive. She's gonna buy me a box at some point.
At some point, Christmas, birthdays.
Well, whenever this whole COVID stuff goes away and you can actually go to the store.
Yeah.
Because we tried ordering on Amazon, and they said two months. Like, I'm already waiting for the Indominus box at
Yeah.
3 months. Like, I don't think, no.
This is gonna come before the box, the Indominus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing is, I don't really. I wish I had time to set aside to just paint and like build and stuff. But I think that means I have to cut into like time that we spent together. So it's a balancing act
It
between the
is.
hobby and the wife.
Mm-hmm. And usually it's never balanced. It's like scales in one favor.
Yeah,
You just got to make sure it's the right one.
which is the Bridget B time.
Mm-hmm. So it's 3 scales. Wife, Bridget B, 40K.
Exactly. What does your wife think about your hobby?
She's all right with it. At first she like didn't say anything, but like kind of gave it the side eye, like, why are there demons in this room?
Demons.
Yeah, because I had like corn demons and like, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean she's indifferent. Like she's not against it, but like she's not for it. I tried explaining like how the game works, and she's like, "That's too many rules. It's too confusing." So we ended up playing Fire Warrior together.
And then you guys got a headache.
Mm-hmm.
That game is terrible.
It was fun for like the first 2 minutes, and then the headache kicks in.
Then you vomit.
Mm-hmm. And then Nurgle's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by Nathan Anderson. Is it possible for Bellacor to return? And if so, what would be the implications of that? I mean, dude never really left. He's just like not in GW's limelight currently. But yeah, I think the last time we heard about him, he was fighting alongside Abaddon in one of his Black Crusades. He's very, how do I pull it, arrogant and kind of jealous, as like he wants to be the main one in control. And he's really strong because he has the powers of all 4 Chaos Gods, but they don't really control him. So yeah, I definitely want to see more of him.
Yeah, he represents like just demonic essence,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, I don't think GW wants to even showcase that.
Yeah, which sucks because like I really like his sculpt.
Yeah,
I wish it would have been a little bit bigger, but in general, it looks really cool.
yeah. This question comes from Te Mandé a la Bird. How do Sisters of Battle and Space Marines view each other? They are both highly trained in skills, but Space Marines seem to be better because of their enhancements.
Mm-hmm.
They also tend to fight for the same team. Yeah, they respect one another. They know that they are dependable, but they also know that each one of them has, like, the Sisters of Battle worship the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Most Space Marines do not. So there's that little
Yeah.
spat.
You could see them working together in the 9th edition trailer. So yeah, they cover each other's weaknesses pretty well, I think.
Yeah. They fill each other's holes.
That's one way of putting it.
Next question.
This one's by Captain Crayon. Does worship in 40K empower the being you are worshiping, or does it create an echo of your belief in the warp?
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
You're not strong enough. Like, let's say we all worship Jesus Christ. That doesn't mean that Jesus Christ is necessarily going to manifest in the warp, but his essence is because of the worship.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because every emotion has a bounce back, an echo in the warp. And that's why there's a whole bunch of like minor chaos gods.
Yep.
But all these minor chaos gods also play in part to the greater chaos gods.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's tough
yeah.
to explain for those that did not evolve inside the warp like we did. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thanks for listening.
As always, try again if we didn't get to your question. And this has been The Sound Alchemist.
First one.
And we are out.